All right. Hello, everyone. This is Josh, also known as Yashu, and you're tuning into TLOY Talks, episode 17. And today we have one of the best and one of the dopest only. He has returned for the podcast, and we have Biggie Biggie today. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. I'm back again. Better.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah,
So how you
man.
doing, my friend?
Nah, I'm doing all right, man. You know, just enjoying life and all that, just enjoying the summer and all that, just,
Facts.
yeah,
Yeah.
being busy and better than ever, just getting whatever content's like done nowadays.
Yeah. What you been working on? Really?
Like a lot of like interviews, honestly. Like I've been doing like a lot of content that's coming soon. Recently I just dropped the unlisted Negroes interview and all that, so we've had part 1 and 2 up now. Yeah, definitely check out the music and all that.
Yeah, for
With
sure. I'm
Yeah,
looking at that.
and also too, I mean, just like a lot of like interesting stuff. I know with you're actually doing a show coming up soon.
Yes.
So tell me more about that.
The what? The show?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have the show. Actually, what is this today? I'm gonna have it on the 30th. It's gonna be at downtown Toronto. I'll be performing a couple songs. Anybody who wants to like come by, just come. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, most definitely, man. And I know with me too, I also have a new vlog that's actually coming up soon. So I actually shot this like vlog like just a weekend ago actually at Parkdale Hall, and we had like a lot of like dope artists that were performing there.
Oh, really?
Uh this like I'm shooting, like I already shot this vlog of this event that already happened. So that should be coming up soon. A lot of people are gonna be on there. Young Tory, NASCAR Aloe, like all these other people
Oh,
too. So you definitely
that's
had to
cool.
enjoy that. Yeah, man.
Sure.
And yo, so how's like your life been so far since our last meetup and all that?
Man, it's been great. Thank God. It's been great. I've been working on music. I know I haven't released anything yet, but the
Yeah.
thing is with me, I want to release it perfectly. So that's why I'm working on it. Because I don't want to like release some shit back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean,
So I
man.
want to release it like good. So that's why I've been filming music videos. I've been actually on a podcast lately, like a couple days ago, like another one. So yeah, I've been doing
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, man. Nah,
I'm filming some music videos next month too. Gonna go and shit.
yeah, man.
So yeah,
Yeah.
just trying to make it out.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Like I know with like I know like you finished like school like in the like just like recently in June and all that. Just
Yeah,
enjoying the summer and all that,
for
enjoying the
real.
vibes right now. So how do you feel about like these Toronto vibes this summer?
It's been great. To be honest with you, I haven't been in too much places yet because I've been really busy. But since then, it's good for now. You know?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with me too. I mean, like I just try to enjoy life as much as possible and all that. Like I
For
finished
real.
like school like a long time ago, so I can't really talk about my experience about that. But like just going out, enjoying life and all that, like seeing these events, seeing all these other places
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if you heard, but you know Earth, Wind and Fire? They're coming to Toronto.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to that concert. It's gonna be lit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Nah, like they're OGs in the game and all that. I
Exactly.
mean, they've made like a lot of like unique music. September was one of them too. I
Yes.
mean, like you could even like match them up with like the Isley
And
Brothers and all that.
yeah,
Like they have like a lot of like unique music in that
exactly.
sense too. Also I think with Lionel Richie, like Lionel Richie's like still like an OG. So
For real.
listening to you like talking about these artists, like it's very like crazy.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
man.
And you know, like Kirk Franklin,
Yeah, yeah.
he was here too. I was on the concert. I was at the VIP thing. Yeah.
So you actually like got like VIP tickets to see Kirk Franklin?
No, I bought it.
Oh, true, true.
Yeah, hopefully
Yeah.
once. No?
Because I know like usually VIP tickets they usually come with like a meet and greet and all that.
Yeah.
So did you actually like meet Kirk Franklin for the first time?
What do you mean?
Like actually like meet him in person?
Yeah, it
So how was meeting with him like?
was good. It
Yeah,
was good. It was a cool guy.
yeah,
It was actually like, because I was like walking like towards my row. And then there was like, he was there with his team and stuff. So I took a picture, stuff like that. And some fanboy shit.
yeah. No, most definitely, man. I mean, like with you, it's like a unique sense too because I know from our last interview, it's actually like one of the biggest like interviews we've had this year. Actually, like
Oh,
along with
really?
like a lot of like other people. Like
Oh,
it's still gaining views to this day and all that. Like I think
wow.
you have like amazing like fan base and all that from all over, you know, because I know you
Appreciate
have
that.
your Hungarian fan base and then you have people
Yeah,
here in the city and all that. So people
bro.
are definitely like tuning in and all that. So like, how was like life like after that interview in that sense?
It was sick. I actually have a video. If you want, I can pull it up.
Yeah.
I was walking in York though. I was walking with my friends, and like this crowd of people, like 10 people of crowd. They came up to me. They were like, "Oh my God, is that Biggie?" This and that. They took a picture with me. You know that felt good because
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah. So let me see that video in that sense, you know, yo.
It was good.
And these are people that you've never like met
I
before, no?
never met them before, and I didn't even know them. They just came up to me. They were like, "Oh my God, I'm a fan of your music."
Yeah,
No,
man.
I appreciate that. So everybody who sees me and they fan of my music, not a fan, they just fuck with my music, just come up to
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean?
Huh?
I'm a chill guy.
Most definitely. All right. No,
You
I
see?
see it. Yo, I see a lot of
Yeah,
like people tuning in. I think a lot of people just like love like the support and hype and all that. You know, I
yeah,
know with you know, you're just like a unique character in that sense. You know, you're just you know, like you know,
exactly. So
yeah.
this is what I was talking about with my friends. Like, if I get in the industry of the music game,
Yeah.
I don't need to put on a like mask. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I have my character. Because okay, let's be honest. All of these rappers, influence people,
Yeah.
like they're not as like in person on camera. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're like they're putting on a character.
Yeah.
And for me, the thing is, I'm a character. I have a character. Somebody can see me from like far away, and they're like, okay, that's Biggie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So yeah,
Most definitely. I mean, even since after that interview, I've had people like you know meeting up with me to do their interviews too. I mean, I've had MA and CK on the platform,
Emmy, which one?
MA low key and all that.
Oh yeah, I know
Yo,
him. He's my bro.
yeah,
Yeah,
man, yeah.
yeah,
I had him on the interview too. I had Jay the Kid, Pretty Free and all that.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I know him
like
too.
the Solid Dog and all that. Like
And like
so.
you had a thing too, Pyro,
Yeah,
TM Pyro,
that
and
was before we met. You know,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I love his music too. You know.
Yeah. So you have like a unique set of people that you actually like rock with and all that, and they rock with you too in that sense too. So it's like it's interesting to see like the new wave of artists like coming to Toronto because you'll have that industry and then you have people that are already like popping right now. Like you'll have
Sure.
like a Burna Benz or a J Need or like a Top Five or all these other people too. You know, so you
Free
kind of
top
see,
five.
huh?
Free top five.
Yeah, man. Yeah, nah, no doubt,
Yeah.
man. So yo, so I know that you talked about like you know having like these new experiences right now, like meeting new people and just interacting. But do you have any new experiences or instances of growth that you've gained since like the last time we spoke?
To be honest, everybody's like texting me like accounts for like interviews and shows. So I guess that's considered as a growth because like people know me now,
All right.
like not like a bit, you know, in Toronto. So I guess that's like a little thing where
I know.
I'm trying my best, you know.
Yeah. So would you say it's like more so like within like concerts in that sense too, like you know having people like pull up in shows and all that, or because I know like you have like this one event like lining up right now on the 30th that you mentioned, and then I don't know if you had like any of the shows back then too.
No, no, no. This is gonna be my first show actually,
Not true.
like bigger show, because I'm running like a club, so it's gonna be my first big show.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Hopefully goes well.
Most definitely, man. So like usually with your live shows, like what can like fans like expect in that sense of people that are gonna like go through and all that?
It's gonna be a movie. Word. It's gonna be a movie, a big movie. Especially for my first time performing. It's gonna be the biggest movie in Toronto.
I don't know. Most definitely. And like speaking about shows too, I mean there's like a lot of shows coming up in Toronto. Like I don't know if you know about like Rolling Loud right now. Like how do you feel about that
Rolling Loud.
in Toronto?
It's gonna be good, but 100% there's gonna be shooting up there. It's gonna get blown up.
Yeah, I mean there's like a lot of like wild stuff going on in
No, cause listen, I don't know how they did this, but there's Jane and Finch
yeah.
for Pressa, okay?
Yeah.
And then there's different areas that they don't fuck with each other. And they're gonna be in the same place. What do you expect is gonna happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They should have done it like they pull one team on this day,
Yeah.
and then the other team on that day. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But I want to go. I want to see Central C, A Boogie,
Yeah.
PGG.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get killed. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully, nothing happens, But everybody says it's something's going to happen.
Because honestly, with concerts too, especially with Rolling Loud, they should have a good amount of security like around that
Exactly.
area. So
Yeah.
I know for you, because you're gonna be a patron at the event, if you are actually going and all that, they'll usually do like a lot of like checks to make sure you don't have like weapons
Yeah,
or
yeah,
anything else
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
So with everyone like that, you should be
Bro,
fine.
money.
Yeah.
Money buys everything. You know what I mean?
Either way,
It's money.
Yeah. And I know with the artist that you talked about, Pressa, he's performing actually on the second day. So the people he has had issues with, they're performing on the first day actually. So
Oh, yeah?
like Pyrex, Mula, like those people, they're performing on the first day.
Oh.
Pressa and his people are performing on the second day, and then the third day, I think it's Free French, and I think a whole lot of other people like Pangs and all
yeah?
that. So it should be like all spaced out, but who knows? Like there's after parties.
Exactly.
Artists like will come on separate days to meet like certain people
Oh,
and all
yeah.
that. So anything can happen, and usually
Hopefully
with
it
those
doesn't. Hopefully,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
well, but as far as like other events too, like I know you went to you're gonna go to Earth, Wind and Fire coming up.
Yeah.
You already went to Kirk Franklin. Which other events did you pull up at like soon?
That was my first concert.
Kirk Franklin?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Never been to a concert before.
And because like Kirk Franklin, like he's a different type of artist. He's a Christian artist, makes
Yeah.
religious and all.
Yeah.
So how does like religion play in that part? Like
Oh,
even with the
like,
music you make.
I'm Christian. My family's Christian. I don't live the life, but I believe in God. I
Yeah.
believe in Jesus. You know what I mean? So I'll be looking forward to when I get older, when I'm stable financially. I will be giving my heart to Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk through that path.
I know.
But not yet.
Yeah, because
I'm not ready yet.
Yeah, I know for like Christianity too, because there's like a lot of like various paths. Like there's Catholic, there's Orthodox,
Yeah.
there's Baptist and all that. Pedestrian and all that. So like I don't know if you follow like a certain like trend in that sense. Like I don't know if you're Catholic or like
I'm Christian.
oh,
I'm not Catholic.
but yeah, no, I mean it's interesting too because you make rap music and all that. Rap like about like the lifestyle, like all these like different
Yes.
senses, and then you go to a Kirk Franklin concert, so sometimes it kind of has like the whole like orthodox like feeling in that sense,
Yeah.
So I know what you mean, man. So getting back into your music right now, because I know like you haven't released as much, but like I want to talk more on like your specific experiences. So speaking more about your music right now, what was like the most significant like personal experience that you ever talked about like in a song?
It was actually it's not released yet. I made a song about my cousin. She died a year ago. I made a music about that. So I don't know if I'm gonna release it though. So that was like the closest that stood to me, my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely know what you mean, man. I don't know if it's like related to anything else, like I don't know if it's like heart related or like anything related to health and all that, or if it's
It
like,
was health.
not sure. My condolences, man. Like I know it's like a tough
Thanks so
time.
much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
But even like speaking about that, like how important is it to incorporate like real life experiences and serious subject matters into like music and all that?
Do we?
So like with music nowadays too, people want to like listen to real music in that sense too,
Yeah.
about like real stories. That's why with people like King Von and like Dirk and all these other people, they're talking about like what's real in them, like what they did in the streets and all that, and then
Yeah.
you have people like 6ix9ine and like
Okay, six.
sort of-
Come on, man. 6ix9ine. That's not rap. He's just screaming in the mic. Anybody can do that. You know what I mean? It's just the man is just there and screaming in the mic. That's not rap. There's no lyrics. When I listen to his song, he's just screaming so much. I had it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even understand what he's saying.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's like
But I mean,
sounds
he's smart. He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
He made a lot of money off that. You know, he's a smart guy.
Yeah, almost definitely. Like I know like with that type of sound too, because that was like a time when people wanted to follow that like that wave too, like that whole XXX Tentacion and all that,
Mhm.
that Trippy Red, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Yachty, like all these people, like they kind of like blew up like around your time and all that, like within high school, like middle school
Yeah.
and all that. So did you feel like that wasn't like a certain type of music that you would like listen to and all that, or
No,
not your wave and all that?
not my wave. I listen to old school rap.
Gotcha.
My inspiration was Biggie, Tupac, Jay-Z,
Yeah,
Nelly, stuff like that.
yeah,
I don't I would listen to them, like these new rappers,
yeah,
but I don't you know
yeah.
if it goes on the radio, okay, I will listen to it. But like not particularly like type it in
Yeah,
and listen
nah,
to it.
yeah. Because I know at that time too, kids in high school would be like listening to Uzi, 6ix9ine, Trippy Red. Like they make like these fan pages and all
Yeah.
that. I don't know if you've noticed that, like when you went to school and all that, like when
Everybody was rocking with them. Everybody in the school.
uh,
They used to like walk to the hallway. They would have the bag on, the backpack. They have a speaker in there, and they're just bumping the song.
yeah. I think at that time too, I think people were trying to have like this whole like identity thing going on too, because I think people had like identity like issues at that time, finding out like what music they liked and all that. Because even before that time, because it was like a different type of music, because they weren't really supposed to be famous and all that, with so like even in that sense too, like because before that, it was like Bryson Tiller and Tory Lanez and Fetty Wap and Dej Loaf, these were the type of people that were actually supposed to like blow up more than anything else too. So like seeing this like weird trend, like I think everything changed when that 2016 Double XL Freshman came out, because usually these were the people that were supposed to be famous. Like
For real.
it was supposed to be like Bryson, Tory, these types of people and all that. I think because they're trying to push like an image that people want,
Yeah, yeah,
So like
yeah, yeah.
even with the sound and everything like that too.
Listen, these new rappers, it's not that they know how to rap. It's that like they're just smart.
Yeah,
They're making music that what the world's want to hear. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'm gonna start doing what Six is doing. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna scream him in the mic and I'm gonna blow up. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
no,
if
most
that's
definitely.
if that's what they
Yeah,
want, then
yeah,
it's not hard.
yeah,
I'll just go and scream in the mic. If I'm gonna get millions of views.
yeah. Most definitely. And like when they passed away with X, with Peep, with Juice World, and all that, a whole different set of music came up. With Polo G, Lil TJ,
Yeah.
Eneli Choppa.
You
With
see, these are the rappers who I actually rate. And then Chopper,
yeah,
Lil TJ, Polo G. And these are like I rate them. You know what I mean? They're making good music, but the 6ix9ine kid and
Trippy
what
Red and
is
all
this?
that.
Like
Yeah.
honestly, what is this?
But have you noticed that effect change, like like even during that time, because those kids that were listening to 6ix9ine and Trippy, they're now listening to Dirk and Polo G and
Yeah,
TJ and all that. So have you noticed that like effect too, like happening?
yeah. Definitely, like a lot of people who was listening to them now they're listening to like Polo G and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just probably like the time goes by and then they just
yeah,
realize like what's music. They realize that Trippie Red wasn't music and 6ix9ine.
yeah.
You know,
Most
it's
definitely.
probably that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean high school, like like we already talked about like high school, like in the last interview and all that. But
Mhm.
like I think a lot of like
I feel like this interview is going way better than the last one.
I think because like I don't have a camera like on you right now
Exactly.
because
And my friends are not here. That's the thing. FK.
Yo.
Keep this in. Keep this in.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think this like with this one, I think because like when I had the camera on you, like you were a little bit like too shy. I've noticed that too.
Yeah.
Like you felt like it wasn't your vibe and all that. Like I
Yeah.
noticed, like some people prefer certain vibes. Like this is like the way to
Exactly.
communicate.
This is
Yeah.
like more comfortable. I
Uh,
sit back, relax.
yeah, you're like speaking your stuff and all that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think we're getting more out of it in that sense too, and like more unique too. So I mean,
For real.
even with that whole change in like schooling and everything else too, like you've noticed like all these effects happen that kids, because like a lot of these kids, they wanted to be like popping pills and all that, drinking like lean, all that type of stuff too. Now they're talking about doing drills and all that and seeing all that type of stuff. So have you like even like noticed that, or like even girls, wanting to fall in love, like falling in love with like boy bands and stuff like that. Now they want to live like the fast life and all that, want to be like Cardi B and all that.
Let me tell you something. Wherever anyone who does drugs is a selfish because they're not thinking about their family. If they die, what's gonna happen to them?
Yeah.
They just think about they're being high and oh, okay, this is so good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just disgusting.
Yeah.
I hate people who does drugs.
Yeah.
I don't
So
like them.
so even like something like weed and all that, like you wouldn't like really kick it with people that smoke
I
weed?
don't smoke. I don't smoke. I don't care if anybody listen. Let's say my friends smoke. None of my friends smoke.
All right.
But let's say they smoke. And they're my friends.
All right.
Just because they smoke, I won't, not be friends with them.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely gonna tell them, don't smoke. It's not good for you, bro.
Yeah.
Like I don't get what's good in being like high. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's just
Yeah.
it just brings out the worst out of the
Yeah.
people. Like
Yeah.
they change so bad.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know what you mean, man. I mean, I know with smoking weed, like weed, it's more so like a plant and all that. So
Okay,
usually,
they say weed is not that bad for you. Fuck up your brain cells. Okay, it's not you can't die from it, but you're gonna be stupid. You're gonna be so stupid. Thank you, my bad. You're gonna be stupid, you know?
yeah.
I have a friend, he smokes weed, he smoked like an ounce of weed a day.
All right.
The guy doesn't remember what happened a week ago. Like, is that good?
I mean, it kind of depends on the situation too, because there's two strains, So there's indica and then there's sativa, with
I don't really know about
so
strains and
indica, it's like usually more like a laid back, type of plant. So usually,
like chill.
like you feel like more relaxed and all that. Like you feel like a couch potato, like when you smoke it. And it also depends on the THC and everything else too. So like the higher the THC, like the more the effects come by and all that. The lower, like you don't really feel the effects like that. Same with indica, So like with indica, they usually have like more like THC in that sense too. So even like smoking it, like you feel like you don't want to do stuff. Your appetite's like more higher, you feel like more like drowsy, like more laid back in
Yeah,
that
I
sense
heard
too.
that. Like if you smoke,
Yeah.
you get like really hungry.
Yeah. But with with sativa, so this is like I'm just like spitting some game right now so that you'll understand. So
Yeah.
sativa, it actually has like less THC, like even with hybrids too. Like hybrids, like it could either be indica or sativa in that sense too. With hybrids, it's kind of like more so of a balance. So sativa has more CBD, so it has like more better effects, within the body and all that. It has less THC in that sense too. So with indica, it has low CBD in that sense. So with sativa, like when you're smoking like that plant, you feel like yourself and all that. You feel like more like level headed in that sense too.
Yeah.
You could actually like do more work. You feel energetic. You could do like a lot. And you don't really feel like the whole drowsy effects too. You're not likely to be hungry in that sense too.
Yeah.
You're more you and all that. So that's kind of like more so like on weed knowledge. I think when your friend was like smoking weed and he felt like he didn't remember, he was smoking more indica than ever in that sense too. But I feel like the whole issue with weed nowadays too, like especially with common consumers, not a lot of people are gonna understand the knowledge between indica and sativa in that sense too. So like whatever like strain works, you're gonna smoke it, So that's why you see like a lot of like dispensaries in Toronto, like because weed was actually legal in Canada uh in the fall, like around like between the summer and fall of 2018. So
Yeah.
that's when a lot of like dispensaries like used to open and like a lot of people were like lining up to buy all this type of stuff too. So you kind of notice that effect too. So but before then, before like 2018 and all that, weed was like illegal and all that. It was like hard to carry even at certain stores. You would
Weed?
need like you'd need like a
And but
medical.
now it's
It's everywhere,
legal.
Like
It's
weed
crazy.
back then in Toronto, you'd either have to get like a medical like license, not like an actual like license, but
Just a medical
like
paper, so like
yeah.
you can have it.
And anyone can easily get that thing too if the doctor feels like they feel they have like the right requirements in that sense too. They had these dispensaries like pop-up dispensaries and all that, but it would be like more low key, but there would be like more raids back then.
Yeah.
There was this raid back in like 2017 2018 at this area on Harvard Street, so it's in the middle of downtown Toronto. And so basically, the cops had to like block it off with like a lot of like blocks in that sense too. And people like had actual like homes there, so they couldn't really access the homes at that time. So it was a tough time for everyone too. Like stores getting raided, people getting arrested like on the spot too, because at that time like weed was still legal and like that was still like an issue. I feel like right now it is more of a problem in terms of gentrification nowadays. Like when you like you'll see like a local like weed store like opening like
There's a weed store at like every street.
yeah man.
It's crazy. It's crazy
Yeah.
how easy it's to get weed nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, because like mostly like back when it was illegal, you can only get it on the streets. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You can't get it like at every store at a dispensary.
But you actually had to be low key, like when you had to purchase,
Yeah,
because
of
anyone can
course.
watch.
Yeah.
High school back then, like if they even see you like smoke weed, you get like a minimum suspension or
Of
you get
course.
like something on your record. Which back then, I don't think it's not really known as much too. It's not like really as like like in the U.S. because usually if you get something on your record like in high school in the U.S., it impacts you on going to college or doing like any community
Yeah.
college type work. In here, you could actually get suspended or expelled from school, but you could still go to like university like
Yeah,
within
yeah.
yeah.
That's
So
the good with Canada. You
yeah,
know?
yeah, man. But honestly, too, I think more so with the whole weed situation, it's more so on gentrification. Like as we mentioned, usually, a lot of the stores that used to be Starbuckses and all these other places, now they're weed stores. Like stores being
Yeah.
shut down. To
Crazy.
yeah, because like people feel more comfortable like buying weed more like nowadays more for their own needs, their own health. More people are smoking it now because they realize the health benefits and requirements in that sense too, depending on the person too. So you could like smoke weed all the time and you won't feel nothing, or even you could smoke like less and then you'd feel like the effects going through. You'd feel different in that sense. So it's just like an interesting time, in that sense.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy.
So like even in that sense too. But do you ever feel like gaining experiences and going through various like moments in your life is something that people enjoy more in music rather than like a general story and all that? So
So like fake my lyrics,
like
basically.
if your story is like real in your music and all that, like if you actually talked about like real like issues in your music and all that,
Of
rather
course.
yeah
Like mostly I talk about like real shit.
yeah
Happening to me with my music.
yeah
Of course, there's sometimes I throw in like some stuff
yeah
that the rhymes and didn't.
yeah
But mostly strictly it's real.
yeah. I know nowadays too people like tend to make up like fake stories about that
Yeah,
on like certain issues. I know people like maybe like 6ix9ine or maybe people like Trippy Red, like they'll make like a fake story about their
yeah,
sound and all that. How they used to be like a Big Blood or a Big Crip, all that type of stuff too.
yeah.
And then you realize it too. Like I think even with the whole 6ix9ine situation with the rainbow like colored hair and all that, I think that was like still like a major issue because how could you be
I feel
someone?
like he made LGBTQ because he started the rainbow shit. Then it's crazy.
I don't really think that he made the whole like
No,
rainbow
he
thing.
did. No, kind of. Because he had the rainbow hairish type
Yeah,
shit. And
because
then now, like, everybody, like, the kids are like, it's
yeah.
because that everybody's, like, rocking that.
Yeah. I mean, there were more LGBTQ rappers way before 6ix9ine, but I wouldn't assume like 6ix9ine is, like that type of thing and all that, not to like put that in. I think with that situation, I think he made it more comfortable for people to be themselves, even in certain situations too, because this kid came from sort of like a privileged family and all that. He worked in a deli, he did all this type of stuff too.
No.
Like it's more so like he made people more comfortable to be themselves, in certain aspects in that sense too. So
Yeah,
I do feel like yeah, no, it's kind of interesting too in that sense. So yeah.
for real.
All right, enough talked about like 6ix9ine and all that. I
Yeah,
think
let's get that out of the way.
yeah.
You 6ix9ine.
Yeah, man. I want to get into your interests, because we never really talked about like your interests and stuff like that. So do you have any like favorite movies and TV shows and all that?
Yes. My favorite movie growing up, it was Karate the Kid. Karate Kid?
Karate Kid?
Yeah, no, with Jaden Smith. Like the second one,
Yeah.
not the
The old
old
one,
one.
yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
I'm still watching it this like till this day.
Yeah.
It's my favorite, and I like Home Alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, one of the actors on Home Alone, Joe Pesci, who played one of the villains in like both
Yeah,
movies.
yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
actually used to be in Goodfellas. You know.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course, Godfellas. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he acted alongside what was that guy's name? The guy that was I actually almost forgot his name too. Yeah, but the guy that he acted with along with De Niro. So that guy actually passed away in the Dominican Republic
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
recently and all that.
And I want to throw that in. I don't know if you know Godfather.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my top one.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, the guy's name Ray Liotta. Ray Liotta. Rest in peace. I hope you're doing well and all that.
For real.
Yo, there's like a lot of good movies too. Scarface. I don't know if you watched it.
Scarface,
Yeah,
of
man.
course. I grew up on those movies,
Yeah.
bro.
And then also, you have the hood movies too. Like you have Boys in the Hood, Menace to
Yeah,
Society,
yeah.
and all that. Like a lot of like dope movies from there. Casino, like that's also like a very good movie from there.
Yeah.
Dead Presidents too. I actually saw this this old movie recently on Monday called Lockdown. So it's like this movie based in the 2000s. There's like some people that were on there. You have Richard T. Jones. You have DeAndre Bonds and all that. Master P was in that movie too, so it's more so like a prison movie.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was
You
actually
know Prison Break?
yeah, the TV show. I
Yeah.
haven't actually watched that show
Love
before.
that. Prison Break. Sick.
If you're into like prison TV shows too, there's this show called Oz. It's like very like unique too. It's like it's like an old TV show that was on HBO like a while back too. So it's very interesting too. And there's like a lot of like unique actors that were in there. Like Method Man was on there. J.K. Simmons, Chuck Zito, who actually used to be like a Hell's Angels member. He actually played an Italian mafia
Oh yeah,
member
yeah. I
like
know
on
that.
there,
I know that. Yeah.
and all these other people too. Yeah, no, that's dope. I don't know if you watched Sopranos and all that.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's sick. I watch like more like mafia movies and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm actually trying to get into Sopranos, but I've been watching like clips here and there too. Like, it was actually like very interesting too, and they talked a lot about like a lot of like interesting scenes too in that sense too. So
Yeah.
I definitely have to get on that. What else? The Wire. Like, if you're into like more police based stuff but more hood stuff, that's also a good show too. That it ran like on the same time as
yeah?
Sopranos too. So a lot of good actors. Idris Elba, he played one major character on there like for some seasons. This is a guy named Michael K. Williams who played this guy named Omar on there. He passed away just last year and all that. But
Oh shit.
yeah, no, it's a good show and all that. Yeah, no.
Do you know the movie? 50 Cent. His
Uh,
movie died.
Get Rich or Die
Get
Trying?
Rich or Die
Yeah, no,
Trying.
it's a good
That
movie.
that movie is so inspirational though.
Yeah.
Cause like he started from nothing. He used to live in the basement, and then he's now on the top. So it's crazy. And he got shot like 8 times.
Yeah.
Didn't die. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
There was like this interview too. This guy named Jew, who was actually 50 Cent's right hand man. He talked about the story about being in the same car as 50 Cent when he got shot. So it's like a crazy experience. You have to type it up. Jew on Cam Capone News. I haven't watched it yet, but just seeing like the title and all that, it might have seemed interesting too in that sense. But nah, like a lot of like dope movies, dope content too. I like comedy here and there too. Sometimes
Yeah.
like sometimes like I watched this other movie too that my guy Versatile Vigilante recommended. So shout out Versatile Vigilante, by the way. So
Yeah.
it's this movie called Bliss, which is like this movie like based in 2019. With this girl who was like a creative and all that. She was like a painter, like an artist,
Yeah.
and basically she had to find like a certain element on how to be creative in that sense too. So one night, she was like out with her friend, like her homegirl and all that. She was also like she also did drugs too to either like feel like the moment to be creative. So she did ketamine, like cocaine, all that type of stuff to blow. And then one day she noticed her friend, like she was in the washroom, she was like a little bit sick. So she noticed her friend come by, like when she was like sick and all that. And then there was like another girl that like popped through. So when she noticed that girl, like her friend actually bit her like on the neck and all that, and she was like bleeding out, like she was dying and all that. And then the girl like actually kissed her friend and all that. So
It's crazy.
yeah.
Cause I have a lot of family friends and like family who actually passed away from drugs.
Oh,
Like they OD'd. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, I
So
get you.
that's why probably for me, I don't
Yeah.
like really fuck. With.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I mean, I don't recommend to watch it, but like if for me, like it's just like what I watch too. I mean, there's a lot of movies that talk a lot about like crazy like references like back then, you know. So like whether it's drugs or sex or all that type of stuff too, it's interesting to know.
Yeah, sure.
Most definitely, man. So speaking more on like movies and TV shows, do you have any like favorite characters or characters that you could like relate to in that sense?
I'm trying to think. You know Robert De Niro? De
Robert De
Niro?
Niro, yeah, nah, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I do feel like he does a lot of like creative things as well to be like these unique characters and all that. He played a guy named Jimmy in Goodfellas and all
Yeah,
that.
Jimmy, yeah.
And then he played like a lot of like dope people. I mean, he was in The Irishman. It's only on Netflix only, but you could watch it like anywhere else too.
Yeah.
I recommend Netflix if you want to
Yeah,
go
I
like
mostly watch movies on Netflix.
true.
It has the best quality.
Yeah. I think as far as me right now, as far as like relatable characters and all that, I mean, I'm trying to think right now. I mean, this like Will Smith played this character in The Pursuit of Happiness and all that. It's with him and Jaden Smith. You know, he played this actual guy who was like an actual like person who started from nothing, but then actually managed to be successful in that sense too.
Yeah.
So like for people who have watched like The Pursuit of Happiness and all that, it's basically a movie where this guy was like down on his luck. He's been selling like a lot of stuff as like a door to door like salesman, like on more like medical stuff too. And then that was like his way to pay the bills while finding work and all that. And then when he couldn't do that on time, when he had all these other situations, he had to find other ways to live. And he's actually like a single parent too. So Jaden Smith's also in the movie too as his son. So basically they stroll like all around like San Francisco, like finding like whatever is like needed to do to have money in their pockets to be fine. And then one day, so I don't want to like spoil the ending for others, but he actually managed to find success like later on too. And I feel like that's me sometimes too, because if you start from nothing in that sense too, like doing whatever it takes to be successful, to work hard, to do whatever, you're gonna find success like at the pot of gold, like right there, like whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Listen, let me tell you something. If somebody tries to be successful in life, they're gonna make it no matter what.
Yeah.
Maybe not like in the first year. Maybe it takes 10 years.
Yeah.
It takes 20 years, but they're gonna make it. That's guaranteed they're gonna make it.
Yeah. Most
You know what I
definitely.
mean?
Yeah. And we could talk about success in all aspects too, whether it's like for school, whether it's through jobs, whether it's through like everything else too with music. So like even like in that sense too, like with high school and like with actual like other careers, like a 9 to 5. Do you feel like those are like proper ways to success in that sense too?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I'm not saying that you can be successful with school. But I feel like you can be more okay. So parents say you need school to be successful.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. Because I feel like you can be successful in life without school. Do you feel the
Yeah,
same
no,
way?
I know what you mean too. I mean,
Because I feel like school makes like gets you ready to be the government's slave.
yeah,
I feel like. Because what does school teach you? You gotta you go to school and then you gotta work for someone. So that's being a slave.
yeah,
But if you don't go to school and you make your own business, you're your own boss and you're not no one's slave.
yeah, no,
So
most
that's I
definitely,
don't
yeah.
I don't really like school.
Because I know in high school too, they'll prep you whatever you need to do to be successful, like in the field and all that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you took like civics and careers and all that. Like, they'll have like those two courses, one more so on like learning about the government, and then another so like learning about how to be successful like in the job market and all that.
I didn't think that.
You didn't take civics and careers? It's actually kind of like a required course in high school, actually. So in grade 10. So,
I didn't go like till grade 12 still.
oh, true. Nah.
I'm probably gonna take it in like grade 11, grade 12.
Yeah, nah, no worries, man. So, oh yeah, so you're still like a little bit like younger in that sense. Yeah, nah, I got you, man. But yeah, nah, like it's important too. Like, usually like in high school too, like they'll have like a lot of requirements that you need to do, like in that sense too. I don't know like how it is like now versus like when I went to, because I went to high school like several like years ago. So like usually in grade 9, you have to take like your English, your math,
Yeah.
your science, geography, and then one phys ed, one arts course, and then I think your French, and then your 2 electives. So here's a fun fact. So basically, if you have a learning disability, or if you have issues like speaking like certain languages
Yeah.
and all that, ESL, you could actually opt out of French, and then you could be exempted from the course. So you could take like whatever, so you won't have to worry about taking French in that sense too. You could take something else too.
I
So
hate French.
yeah,
I hate French so much.
yeah,
I actually I never go French.
yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Because I know for, like if you're lucky too, like if you actually have a chance, I know some people with like IEPs, or some people
Yeah.
who like are like ESL and all that, so you could actually get exempted from
Yeah, I
French.
used to do that. I used to go to ESL instead of French.
Yeah. And then I know grade 10, I think grade 10 it's kind of like laid out, you have to take your English, your math,
Yeah.
your science, your history, and then you have to take civics and careers, and then whatever courses you have to take depending, and then grade 11 and 12 it's kind of like more like laid back. Also to there's this like crazy requirement in high school that you have to do like at least like 40 like hours of community service and all that. I don't know if you've actually like did that before by any
Which
chance.
one?
You have to actually, in order to graduate, you have to actually do 40 hours of community service.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So like usually there's some quick hacks. Like I know some people who've had like like you could do like a couple community hours if for like for nothing and all that. You just have, if you have like a church, or if you have like a fellowship and all that. You
Which one is that job? Like you school, you can like go work and then you don't need to you don't need to go to school. Which one is that called?
I mean the trades, I think, or something like that, or
I'm not sure.
yeah.
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean GED and all that, like you can get like your GED like without going to school. Like it depends, because you have to drop out and then you'd have to do your GED and all that, or like your requirements to graduate high school from that. So like you do like a standardized test.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
meet the requirements, you should be fine and all that. But yeah, the 40 hours, like sometimes it could be easy. Sometimes if you, because not a lot of people like doing communities hours in that sense too. Like some people prefer, to skip by for high school, but like you'd actually have to actually graduate. If you don't, you're gonna be stuck there. So, and then you have to actually take the OSSLT test. I think it's kind of like straightforward. You'd have to get like a passing mark. I think it's like an amount of 300 to like kind of complete it. So, but
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
but yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of ways to be successful too, whether
Of
for
course.
school, whether for music and all that. I know like usually with a lot of successful people, like they tend to read books, or, go for like different like life experiences too in that sense, like having like a mentor, or having like an OG and all that. So I don't know if you have like any like mentors or OGs that you look up to like in your personal life and all that.
My personal life,
Yeah.
not really.
So there's no like actual like people that are gonna guide you to be successful. Like
Like musicians.
I wouldn't say like musicians, but like like regular people, like regular people that
Oh, guide me to like
yeah,
these. Of course, my dad, my mom, my whole family supports me.
sure, sure.
You know,
Uh,
so I'm really thankful for them. I'm
yeah,
grateful
yeah,
that
no,
they're still alive.
yeah, no, most definitely, man. Regardless. And yo, I mean, with school, like like usually too for people who don't want to go to school, you could actually do the trades and all that. So like usually that's like the best way right now. With the trades, you can get like a lot of money through certain aspects, whether it's through working in construction, working in like mechanics, all that type of stuff too. So some people just like start off
I feel like the best thing to do. I don't know if you heard of the it's like stocks. It's not stocks. It's like
like investing and all that.
yeah. You
Yeah,
invest. Okay, so I'm gonna explain this. I don't know how to explain. There's like a online character
yeah,
that you buy that, and then the money goes up. Let's say you buy for like 200, and then in like 2 weeks it can go up to like $100,000,
yeah.
and then they buy it. And then
Yeah,
it's a really good
you're
experience.
talking about NFTs, right?
NFTs,
Yeah, yeah.
yes,
I
yes,
mean,
yes.
NFTs right now, I
NFTs.
think it's good and bad at the same time too.
Yeah,
Because
it's not always good. You gotta really know which one to buy.
yeah, because I know right now with NFTs, like they had the Bored Ape one. It's actually depleted in its value right now, because I think the shares tend to be like more or less because of like certain situations that happened. Some artists are thriving, some artists aren't really thriving as much too. It kind of depends on the person. So I think it depends on like what you want to buy right now because you have your ETH and then you
Yeah.
have your BDC and all that. So usually sometimes too like the value of like Bitcoin and your ETH like changes like from time to time and all that. Especially with stocks too, like Dogcoin right now. I think it's gone horrible right now. I think depending on like certain situations. I remember I think back in like last year
Mm-hmm.
the value depleted. So this is actually probably like one of the best topics right now. So more so on dating and women right now. So as far as with you right now, what's your experience with women like in dating? Do you have any like particular types that you go for, or are you into like all types of women?
I like my Latinos.
All right,
I like light skinned girls.
all right.
But right now, I'm not looking for any relationships right now. So I'm focusing on music, you know.
Yeah, no, almost
They're
definitely.
just drama. They're just headaches.
Yeah. So like how's like dating like? So you've never dated anyone
No,
before?
I have dated.
All right.
It's just drama.
Oh shit.
Like for like the couple of months, it's good.
Uh,
It's getting tired.
just
Just tired.
and they're like the same age and all that, a little
Yeah.
older. Oh, true. All right, yeah. I know, like dating, like right now, like especially with high school and all that. Like high school, like a lot of people don't take stuff seriously in that sense too. Like I think some people kind of take it like a little bit like too extreme and all that. You know, usually maturity like usually doesn't change until like college or university and all that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
man.
for
So
sure. If I can give you any advice for dating anyone out there, don't trust women. Just don't trust them. Because they're gonna fuck you over every as soon as they see a little better opportunity for them, they're gonna leave. That's facts.
uh,
You gotta be a dick to them.
yeah,
You gotta stand
yeah,
out.
yeah.
There's 20 people saying you're pretty. Tell them you're ugly. Watch your response. That's
Yeah.
it.
But like as far as like high school goes and stuff like that, like the women like in high school and all that, like are they like immature? Like the high school that you're at right now, like they're kind of like a little immature, or are they kind of more level headed, or like they're into older guys or that type of stuff and all that?
They're mostly into like older guys
All right.
and perm heads.
Yeah. Because like usually too, like I know like even like with me too, like high school, like some girls were into like older men and all that. Like I knew this girl who actually had a guy in prison while she was like still dating him in high school and all that. So
Oh wow.
yeah, so it's kind of like crazy. I think no, but like she was like 18 when I met her and all that. Like she's like kind of like 1 year older than me.
And her
So
man was in prison.
allegedly, actually,
How
So
did that work out?
I actually don't know, to be honest. I've yet to speak with her and all that. I mean, there were like some girls that were dating like older guys and all that. Just like for the vibe and all
Yeah.
that. It is kind of weird too because with the whole like age situation, because imagine you're like 15, 16, 17 dating like a whole like 23, 24 year old and all that, or
It's crazy. Just most like these 15-year-olds did it like
uh,
22-year-olds.
but like even girls in high school too, like I don't know if they're more like fast paced in that sense too, like they're into the whole bad boy type, or are they like
Oh, they're
into
into fake gangsters.
dude, yo, that's
And
crazy.
then they're like, yeah, what's up? And then they get slapped.
And especially too, like even with that conversation about like OnlyFans too, because I know like some people they have to be 18 to do OnlyFans at least too. So have you heard like these discussions of like people getting into like OnlyFans and all that or stuff like that?
Not really. So
Not really. Ah, true.
I don't really know anyone
Yeah,
who's into like OnlyFans.
true. And I know that you're Hungarian and all that. So would you actually like date a Hungarian woman or like a
Of
Roman woman?
course. Of course. Of
True.
course.
Because I don't know like how Roma.
Because listen, I'm Hungarian, right?
All right.
There's no way I can potentially be with like a Canadian woman. You know what I mean? Because she doesn't talk my language. She doesn't know how to cook. I want some good perkle knock at this.
Yeah.
They can't do that.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Like
You know what I
with
mean?
Roman women, like what are like some dope qualities? Like I've never met like a Roma like woman before and all that. Like I might have like met a couple like maybe like walking around, but like what are like the qualities of like Roma women that you tend to like expect?
They're really pretty. They're
Really
soft.
pretty? Yeah.
They know how to cook. They know how to clean. They know how to wash the dishes.
All right.
Yeah.
And
If they're wifey type. I'm not saying everyone, every
Yeah.
every single one of them, but mostly. You know what I mean?
yeah. Because they, I actually watched this like like video too. Like that's like I don't know if you watched like Vice News. Is they had this video in Bulgaria where they had this practice for Roma people, that they have to do like an arranged like marriage through like a meetup and all that. They meet like some guy like or some woman and all that, like depending on the style and all that, like from interest at these like gatherings too, and then that's when they get married and all that. I don't know if that's kind of like that for you and all that for Hungarian Romas and all that.
Kind of.
Kinda. Ah, true. But like usually like right now too, it's like kind of like their choice in that sense too. Like with you and her and all that, it's like kind of like their choice and all that.
Yeah.
All right, yo. But yo, I mean, like I've seen you like on IG and all that. You're preying like all like the attractive like ladies and all that. Like
Oh,
on
yeah.
IG, I see Ash Cash,
Ash Cash.
Malu
Yes.
Trevello and all that, and all these other people and all that.
Yes.
So, who's
Ash
on
Cash.
your like wish list right now?
Ash Cash. You
True. Yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of like attractive
So,
like women everywhere. I
really
mean,
attractive.
yeah. How do you feel about people like Bad Baby or like people like Black China and all that?
Bad Baby.
Yeah.
My friend is here actually. Michael Bad Baby kitchen.
Yo, because I know Bad Baby. I mean, she made like a mill like on OnlyFans like when she turned 18 and all that. So it's like
Yeah.
kind of crazy, like for the Bad Baby. Like even Malu, I
Yeah.
remember people were hyping up Malu when she got her OnlyFans because
Oh.
people were like, when Malu turns 18, when do turns 18, I'm getting their OnlyFans and all that, seeing like what they do. But I think the hype for Malu's OnlyFans, it's not that much. It's just like bikini stuff and all that. So
Yeah.
it's
No. There's no way. But Monu been on the top though.
Yeah.
Like, since she was like 14, 15 years old.
yeah, most
No?
it.
So it's not just because of like the OnlyFans
Yeah.
shit.
Like as far as like other women, like I don't know if you know like Queen Naija or like Kayla, Dayla on TikTok or Really Carly and all that.
I don't really watch TikTok like that.
True. But yeah, no, like I think like around your type, your age area, there's like a lot of them are kind of like popping. Like Really Carly, she's like this Asian girl
Like-
in Toronto and all that.
Oh yeah.
like
I
the-
met them. I met them.
You met Really Carly?
Yeah. I
How
met
was
her.
she really like and all that?
No, I didn't talk to her. I saw her in Yugno.
Oh shit.
She was with her parents.
Oh, true. Yo, no, that's crazy. I mean, it's an interesting experience too, like meeting like these types of people and all that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, no, I definitely know what you mean.
Mm.
But it's like far as like Toronto women in general, like do you have like any interest in dating Toronto women or
No.
like
No.
so you kind of know like the
Not at
expectations?
all.
Yeah.
Not at all. No. They look good, but their personality makes them disgusting. Just like Roma's.
Yeah.
She's a bad bitch. She looks really good.
Yeah.
I'll hit any time of the day. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't date her. Never.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't. No. It's not
And
for
like
me.
Chair Girl and all that. So I don't know if you like know about Chair Girl and all that. Would you like tap that or
Cheer girl?
Chair Girl like Marcella?
Oh!
Yo.
Tap that. Of course.
Yeah. But I think with Toronto women too, like I think one issue that some people like do tend to talk about is the accent. Like one day they'll act like sort of cute, like very feminine, and then when that Toronto man accent pulls up, like
Of course.
it's a deadly like force and
Of
all that, and it
course.
kind of is like sort of like a turn off that some men have and all that. I don't know about every other guy and all that.
For the Toronto, like the Toronto girls, they like that. They like Toronto people.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Uh-oh.
Like, they like when they dress like a homeless guy.
Like a hood man and all that. Like
Yeah.
you
They-
see
well,
like the
Listen, this is their drip. Black Air Forces,
Alright.
they're crossed up to the ground. Fucking Roots tracksuit, but it's the Roots tracksuit's like up already, like 2 years old,
all right.
and a fitted hat,
Yeah.
and their hair is like this. Like, bro, get a fucking
Like
haircut,
they're
right?
getting like their bundles and stuff like that.
and
yo.
they're dirty, bro. They
Yo.
smell like like literally ain't no cavity.
Oh shoot. Yeah.
It's crazy, and this is what these like.
And then
It's
like
crazy.
yeah, I know with them like their go to is like the junior chicken with the Thai sauce and all that at
Yes,
McDonald's and all
junior
that, the
chicken.
beef patty.
No, that's the only thing they can afford. That's why.
Yeah, I read there was like this Twitter handle like a while back, like a long time ago, and then there was this post saying like that this guy got like topped off for like by this Toronto girl for like a junior chicken and all that, or like a bus like a TDC ticket, So
Wow.
I've read like some wild stuff and all that. People.
Did
will
you,
do-
did you see the kid who got stabbed? He got set up by like a Toronto girl,
Oh wow.
and he got stabbed to death. It's crazy.
Oh, when was this actually?
It was like a couple months ago.
A couple months ago. Oh, true.
Yeah.
Yo, that's wild. Yo.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But I know like a lot of them, they love the same music that you do, you know, like Central C, A Boogie, you know, even Toronto rappers too. Like I remembered like even back in my time and all that, like a lot of like Toronto girls like loved Roni and all that, and you know, they loved Casper and all that. Fun fact, I actually went to the same high school as like Casper for a little bit too. He was
Really?
yeah, he was in my high school for maybe half a semester. But it was like interesting too because this is like before he blew up and all that, you know.
I go to the same school as top 5 went and like Jigsaw. Okay, they graduated, but they went to the same school.
Yeah. And like some like of those like GGG guys and all
Yeah.
that. So yo, like especially like with high school too, like how was like, you know, even being in that aspect too, you know, you have like these Toronto shorties like doing their thing, these Toronto hoodmans like doing their thing too. So
Yeah.
yeah, most definitely, yo. I think you know it's crazy too. A lot of them love going to like Wonderland and all that. You know, like I see like a lot of these girls like at Wonderland at all these other places too.
Yeah.
Yo, fun fact, I actually used to work at Wonderland for a bit too, but that's like a whole different story. So
Really?
I used to see like these types of people there. You know, like the hoodmans, the hood gals, and all that. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like a different experience in that sense.
It's
You know,
it's crazy because like who I went to school with, like they used to like be my friends. Now they're like Toronto man. It's crazy. There was this kid, I don't want to say his name. Me and my friend, like him up, like beat the out of him.
oh wow.
Like, and then now he's a hoodman. He's acting up, and then he laughed in 6th grade. You know. And then there was
Yo.
this other kid. I'm gonna tell you. One of my friends, FK.
All right.
He was talking shit to him. Like he was talking to FK. And then this guy, FK, fucking slammed him to the ground. And then after, we were going into lunch. And I went there to that kid. I was like, what the fuck you do? And I gave him the biggest slap of his fucking. I don't think his
So you this guy named FK and all that.
No. FK is my friend.
Oh, FK. All right.
And FK was like beefing this kid.
All right.
And then I slapped that
Oh
kid.
shit.
But I'm telling you, like the kid, I slapped him so hard, he flew like across the fucking field.
Oh, that's wow, man. I don't know if you've had any other like fights you've seen in high school, you've like dealt with and all that.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Saw a lot.
Yo, man. That's kind of wild too. You know, I mean, high school too, because like fighting can be crazy. You know, I mean, with me, I've never noticed that much fights until like grade 10 and all that, like in high school and all that. And this is like when it was like very like crazy and all that because people were fighting over relationships, fighting over other stuff too. Like sometimes you don't notice, sometimes you might find out like later on too. So it's kind of like a crazy vibe in that.
Most of the beef is out of shirties. Like two friends, they won the shirties, and this is why they beef. Like for me, I would never beef with my friends for a girl. Come on, man.
Yeah.
For a girl, if they want it, here, take it. I don't need it.
Yeah.
No, I would rather give her the bit. I won't risk my relationship with my friends for a. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's girls everywhere,
Yeah.
but there's only one real friends out there. There's not a lot of them.
Yeah. No, most definitely.
It's hard to find them.
Yeah. No, most definitely, man. And you know, like even right now in your age group, how do you feel? Like I know that you've talked like a lot about it. You know, it's not really as good, but in your age group, how do you feel about the dating scene right now? Do you feel like there's like lots of problems like going on right now, or it's just kind of like the same?
What do you mean?
So you know, usually dating in certain age groups too, it's like tends to be very different. Like in my age group, you know, people are thinking more like long lasting like relationships. You know, with serious qualities and all that. You know, you have a good job. You know, have your financial like assets in order, all that type of stuff too. In your age group, you know, like usually in high school, some people are kind of like more fast paced. You know, they want that whole
Exactly. They just. You know why girls want to get in a relationship? So they can suck. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, almost definitely. And you know, like especially too, you know, even with certain stuff right now, you have like, I think you know, right now there's a lot of crazy things that tend to happen. You know, like you have like OnlyFans and all that. You have like Twitter and all that, IG and all that. So people are living like these different like lifestyles like right now and all that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because listen, back in the days, there wasn't social media like that.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's really easy to make it out because you can just make it out. Like you don't have to do nothing. You just sit at home and play fucking video games on Twitch,
Yeah.
and you can be a millionaire. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
most
back in the
definitely.
game, I mean back in the days, like you had to actually hustle for that money. I mean, for that fame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Most definitely.
Nowadays, it's easy to make it out.
Yeah.
You just need a lucky just a lucky little thing, and that's it.
Yeah. I don't know if you know T Grizzly by any chance and all that, you know?
Yeah, Tigers.
Yeah, so he was in an interview a while back, $1 million worth of game, and he talked about making 200K of streaming in Twitch and all that, you know? So
exactly.
I think that pandemic made
And you know AD Ross?
Yeah.
Bro, look at that kid. He's
Yeah.
21. He's a millionaire.
Yeah.
And all he does is fucking sweat in his chair and play video games. And that's it.
I don't know if you watch the whole like New York based stuff. There's this guy named Kai Cenat who
Kaisana?
he does like reaction type stuff, and then there's
PC 3000. I love that guy.
how do you feel about Bust Down, Rolly, Avalanche, and all that? You know?
I listen to this. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
He actually has potential.
Yeah, most definitely. And there's these two other guys too. There's this guy named Nodi and then Booba and all that. Like, it's like these
not sure.
two black kids, I think, out of the Bronx and all that, and they interview like New York drill rappers like in their car and all that. So basically, you know, with New York drill, you have K Flock, you have B Love, you have Dougie B, and then D Fang. They have all these people in that scene too. They interview people in those cars and all that. You know, doing like weird stuff. Like, do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
I've been watching like some of their stuff. It's like actually kind of crazy, you know. So I don't know if you've watched that type of stuff, you know.
I don't really vote. I saw it though. I saw it on
Yeah.
TikTok.
And then like some people have the weirdest reactions. Like they pull like their shirt and all that.
Yeah,
or
and
they
then
do-
this is like this TikTok one day.
yeah.
Do you have a napkin? This guy just scratches the fucking
Yo.
back beaters off.
Yeah,
his-
man. I mean, the new YouTube right now, it's like kind of crazy, you know, like with Gideon, with these types of people
Yeah.
too, and like
You know Duke Dennis?
who's Duke Dennis?
He's like a member of AMP.
Oh, Ampiage.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like YouTube, like I could say it like right now, the content is crazy right now.
It's
Like I've been
crazy.
watching like a lot of the
Yeah.
YouTube so far.
You saw Kaisenet's stream? They blew up the new AMP. Like,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, and he did like these prank videos too with these other people, like A Boogie. I think some other
In the
people
studio.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nah, YouTube's crazy. You know, locally too, I gotta like shout out K Showtime and all that. You know, K Showtime.
Oh yeah, for sure. K
Yo,
Showtime. He did it.
Yeah, man.
And
I-
he used to live in Gina Finch.
Yeah. No,
And
that's
now
crazy.
he's one of the biggest in Toronto.
Yeah. Did he actually manage to check out his games and all that?
What do you mean?
Like he'd have like these games at the park and all
Oh
that.
yeah. I wanted to go, but I couldn't make it.
Yeah.
yeah.
But nah, I think with K Showtime, I think he's the only
I
one.
really want to collab with him though. Still, somehow I want to get in touch with him.
Yo, would you actually play like a one-on-one with Showtime?
What's the point of that?
Yo, but nah, I mean he's like sick with it too. There's I think he's the only one that's original right now. You know, I mean like you have like some
Yeah.
YouTubers like some mukbangers like Veronica Wang and all that, and Lily Sin and all that. I mean she's already popular right now, but like she used to be very big on YouTube and all that. So it's actually kind of like a crazy experience, you know, with Toronto having a lot of like dope creators from YouTube and all that. So. And I think right now with content, you know, like, you know, you have your Six Buzz, you have your Keep Six Solid, you have all this other stuff right now. So how do you like feel about that?
What do you mean?
How do you feel about like platform pages right now, like Six Buzz and Keep Six, and you know, with Six Wars, all that type of stuff and all that?
It's good. You for sure you can get a lot of clout from them. That's for sure.
Because I know with Six Buzz too, back then they had a crazy buzz with like Debbie and all that. They used like Debbie like a lot, like for the content platform, whether she's like fighting and all
Yeah.
that, and then
I actually just found out Debbie died. I
yeah,
didn't even know.
she died
crazy.
last year actually, overdose. So it's kind
That's
of crazy, and
crazy.
that's it, yeah, man. And then there's this other girl named Sagittarius Shoddy and all that.
But me,
There's this other girl named Sagittarius like Shoddy and all that,
I don't know.
like a big white girl and all that. I don't.
Oh,
think
the one that talks about if the
No, that's Plush. No, Sagittarius Shorty. She used to actually be this like big white girl
Oh.
on YouTube and all that. She was talking about how she used to get trains ran on her and all this other type of stuff too. So like she used to be popular, you know, back when I was finishing school and all that, like university and all that. So I know who you're talking about. Plush actually. So
She's on TikTok, and
yeah.
if the weed is not, I don't
Yeah.
even pass it to me.
Yeah, no, she's a
Oh my
real
god.
Western road shorty and all that, you know?
Yeah,
Popular on
Western.
TikTok. You know, she's actually Hungarian, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I
Yo,
know.
so would there be a chance of like you meeting up with Flush and all that? Like,
I don't know. Still,
would that be like kind of like your type and all that, or like a little bit different?
as a girl,
Yeah, like if you were to like,
she looks good.
yeah.
She looks good, but her attitude. This is what I can't do with these Toronto shadies. Their attitude is so annoying.
Oh shit.
It's crazy.
Yeah, nah, I definitely know what you mean. You know, I mean, what else? I mean, yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff in Toronto right now with content, with everything else right now, and you know, it's just crazy at the moment. You know, so.
It's crazy.
Um, but yo, you know, getting back onto this whole like dating stuff right now, if you have any like, do you have any other like dating advice you'd want to like share and all that?
Um, don't be a simp. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because listen, let me tell you something. There's plenty of ways to the and you can get the by simping, but then here comes the guy who don't give a fuck. Then she's gonna take the shirty. Like you know what I mean? That's a fact.
Yeah. I mean, there's like,
So if you if
yeah,
you if you wanna hit the you can sim, but that yours. It's gonna be the guy. You listen. You're gonna be her last option if you're
yeah,
sim.
yeah,
You know the if she wants to like go out or let's say something, then her first option is gonna be the guy who's not a simp who doesn't give a shit. Yeah,
yeah,
and then if the guy says off, then you're gonna be her last option because she knows okay this guy is gonna come either way, and then and you're gonna be her last
yeah,
option.
yeah. No, most stuff. How do you feel about like gold diggers and stuff like that? You know, like because like gold diggers, like they've been popular like from time, like from the
Yeah.
'80s, '70s, and all that. Like you wouldn't even date them, right?
Listen, gold diggers are smart. They're
Yeah,
smart women. Listen, if you
yeah,
can do it, if a guy is so dumb to fall in that trap, then do it. It's you know what I mean. They're
yeah.
just making off
Yeah.
money off it.
Oh. You know, there's this actual thing that they actually have called financial domination in sex work and all that. So with financial domination, it's like this guy is attracted to giving money to the girl and all that. You know, he actually gets like a lot of like pleasure and all that. You know, giving his life savings, his money to a girl and all that. It's an actual thing. So usually there's like findoms, like
Okay, let me tell you this.
yeah,
What's the point of that? What's the point of giving the bitches money?
and you know like with
What
like
do you,
yeah,
what's the
I
point of
think for
that?
them, some
What do
people.
you get off that? What you get pussy and
Yeah, with Findom, it's an interesting aspect, you know, because you know some people like get actual like pleasure because there's like humiliation within that sense too. You know, some people like the woman. So the guy is the sub and the girl is the dom and all that. So with the dom, you know, she has like a lot of ways to get the money either way. You know, like whether asking that guy for purchases, and there's like no sex at all. You know, so there's no sex, there's no coitus in that sense too. It's just that guy like simply giving this girl like money
that's
like
sad.
and it's an
That's
actual
sad.
thing, man. So I
That's
mean
sad.
there's actual sex workers who actually make actual like money off Findom, and
Yeah.
it's a crazy thing, you know.
And the crazy thing is, the guys who does this, they think they're so big, oh, because they have money and they give
Yeah.
bitches. You're sad. Like get the here, giving. So
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy thing too. I mean, sex work has a lot of interesting stuff too. I mean, it's a lot of intense stuff because like you might be older to find out more, but there's a lot of things that they do. You know, domination, like physical domination, where you know, like the whole like spanking and whipping, like slave whipping and all that type of stuff too. I,
it's crazy.
like I'd explain this to you when you're like a little bit older and all that, you know, because it gets like way too deep in that sense too. But yeah,
Mhm.
no, it's wild. But even too, like you'd have like simple ways of girls getting money because you know there's like girls that will like send you like e-transfer like requests and all that. Hey, can you pay like my McDonald's bill and all that? Like you know, getting a
It's
tuna
crazy.
chicken or that.
No, for girls, it's really easy to make money. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's really easy. There's OnlyFans. If they find a guy, they sell for money. So there's plenty of ways for girls to make money.
yeah,
They can just stand out for the sheets, they have money.
Yeah.
Like a
Nah,
man can't do that. You know what I mean?
yeah. Most definitely. Now it's kind of interesting too. I mean, like a lot of ways. I mean, right now, like I think,
By the way, no disrespect for the
yeah,
girls. I love you guys.
yeah, almost
I
definitely.
love you from the whiz blow.
Yeah, I know we have some minutes left before the end, but yo, do you have any other events that you're gonna pull up to this year? Like, I don't know if you're gonna go to Caravana or like
Oh,
CNE and all that.
Caribana. For
Caravana.
sure I'm going. And I'm going actually to Dominican Republic on the 16th.
All right. Wait, on the 16th of August.
Yeah.
Ah, nice, nice, man.
Yeah.
So, is this like the first country that you've traveled to,
No.
like, or
I've been to Cuba, Mexico. I've been to Dominica.
all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like a lot of countries too. Like I know, like the U.S. It's also crazy too.
I want to go to I want to go to Los Angeles. I I feel like there's a better opportunity for me there.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, New York too.
And New York too.
Yeah, and Atlanta. Like I think with
Yeah.
you could actually make a lot of good money in New York, LA, and Atlanta too. I mean, also other events too. There's South by Southwest in August, not in August, in Austin, which happens usually in March.
Mhm.
So like if you're into music or if you're trying to get your music out there, you know, like that's a good marketing way to do that.
Definitely.
Yeah, like going to these studios in LA and in Miami and in Atlanta, like it's very very dope too. Toronto, there's some good outlets too, but I think with that whole thing, it's like more so like pay to play and all that.
Exactly.
So like usually some people like they'll pay to be a part of this performance, or others, you know, like you just do it off the strength of your fan base and all that. Like I actually used to manage an artist called Condria, and I actually managed to get him a couple shows. So
Oh really?
and we did that just through selling these tickets and all that, you know. So he's like a reggae artist, so he opened up for like the Wailers and all that, and for Morgan Heritage. Those are like big reggae acts. Like with the Wailers, they used to be with Bob Marley, so there were still like some members that performed there, and then like some new members too. So
Yeah. If you have any like shows or something, just let me know and
yeah.
we'll come too.
Yeah, no, I like off the strength. Like I'm trying to I'm trying to actually create a show one day for TLOY to have like some people like perform and then have like some local openers or even do like a crazy like cipher too. So that's because I'm trying to like manifest that right now too, but it's kind of like more so on the planning side. So you just have to plan things out and figure out like what's best for you and
Yeah,
all that.
definitely.
So most definitely. I know there's what else? There's the CNE and all that. It should be open at around August too, so that should be fine. I don't know if you went to like Wonderland this year and all that.
I didn't.
Yeah, it's all right.
I
I
want to
mean,
go though still.
yeah, I mean, I think for people who've never went there before, it should be fine. With me, because I worked there like for a little bit. Not much. I
It's
mean,
kind of getting boring.
yeah, because there's like a lot of crazy stuff that happens.
Yeah.
It could either be a shooting, it could be some other stuff
Yeah.
going on and all that,
It's
and
crazy.
yeah, man. But as far as like right now, with Toronto, like how do you feel about it right now in terms of what's going on with the gun violence and with other stuff?
What do you?
So how do you feel about the current situation with Toronto right now with the safety, with everything else going on? Because there was like some gun violence that actually happened, in the past couple days. One guy got
Oh
killed.
yeah, in Caledonia.
Not in Caledonia. There's this one guy I think that got killed at a nightclub. King and
Yeah, like a
Bathurst.
couple.
Yeah,
days
yeah,
ago,
and then
yeah.
by Scotiabank Arena. So
They should definitely get the security up though.
yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. And I think it's more so like on preventing like certain situations too, like just getting, like more like I wouldn't say more police, but more community based programs to help people get away from that whole like limelight and all
Yeah.
that. You know, the city to actually be doing more and all that in terms of like funding, for the homeless because there's this actual crazy story with this homeless not this homeless guy, this guy who created mobile like homes and mobile shelters, like wooden like mobile homes. He was like a carpenter and all that, and he was doing that like throughout the pandemic, and then the city like ceased him to not do that anymore, and then he tried to battle in court, and I don't know the situation right now. I think he might have won, he might have lost, but all that. But it's crazy too that people try to help, and then like people try to stop it in either
That's
like way.
crazy.
I mean, with the home, I think with that whole homeless situation, because right now they're staying in the hotels and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
it's not gonna be for long too. Because there's a variety of hotels, like Straff Kona Hotel, and then I think Bond Place Hotel. So
Yeah.
like they're like
They should definitely get like a shelter for the homeless
yeah,
people. Because bro, you go downtown and that's all you see is like crackheads and like homeless people. It's kind of disgusting, you know. You see their shooting carrying and
yeah. I think with that situation, it's more so on how many they could like limit to for the places because they're not moving the homeless to Brampton or the other areas too. So it's kind of like yeah,
yeah,
kind of
it's
that's
crazy stuff.
yeah, man. So aside from performing at the D, aside from performing like later on this month and going to DR, do you have anything that's next for you going on?
What do you mean?
Do you like what do you have coming up in terms of like other music or other stuff that you're
Oh,
going?
I promise everyone I'm releasing music next month.
All right,
That's for sure. Because how I told you, like, I don't want to release trash music, you know?
all right.
I want to take my time with it.
Uh, Most definitely, man. And do you have any final remarks that you'd want to say right now and all that?
Uh,
Like, what do you want to like say to the people out there? Like, do you want to like give your socials and all that, or
yes, follow me on Instagram, Biggie underscore dot L dot W dot R. Follow me on there. Yeah.
yeah,
Give
most
me a
definitely.
follow, give me a DM if you want to work with me. Sure, you send me up in my life.
All right. I mean, there you have it. So this is Josh, also known as Yashu, and you're tuning into TLOY Talks episode 17. You could follow this episode on all platforms, on Spotify, on Sounder, on Buzzsprout, on YouTube too. Like this is actually like my first live one that I did right now instead of the whole like Zoom stuff. So it's like way bigger than better than ever. I want to
Yes,
shout
sir.
out 1990 Studios, like located in Uptown Toronto, like for all your podcasting needs and all that. Dope studio. Definitely check that out too. Definitely check out Biggie Biggie's music and all that, and that previous interview we had on on the Get to Know series and all that. It's doing numbers. You'll get to know Biggie and all that. Check out his music. You're not gonna miss it and all that. And
Thanks so much, bro. Thanks so much for having me.
yeah, man.
That
Likewise,
was
man.
great.
All right, and this is Josh of TLOY Talks, also known as Yashu, signing off.
Peace.
Peace, man.